You studied hard, you got good grades, you listened when adults told you that college was the key to a better life. So you signed the papers, took the loan, and walked onto campus full of hope. And then the bill arrived. $40,000, $60,000, sometimes over $100,000 for a degree you haven't used yet, from a job you don't have yet, due to a system that never fully explained what you were signing up for. This is the truth about student debt, and it's something millions of people are living right now, often in silence. Let's go back to the beginning. For decades, one message was drilled into young people everywhere. Go to college, get a degree, get a good job, live a good life. It was treated like a guaranteed formula, a golden ticket. And so families believed it, students believed it, and universities, they knew exactly what they were selling. Here's where it started to go wrong. Imagine a small town with one pizza shop. Everyone needs pizza. The shop can charge whatever it wants because there's nowhere else to go. Now imagine that same logic applied to education. Universities knew that students needed degrees to compete in the job market. They also knew that the government was offering student loans to almost anyone who applied. No credit check, no proof of income, no business plan. Just sign here and the money appears. So what did universities do? They raised their prices every year, sometimes 5, 6, 7% higher than the year before, because they could, because the loans kept coming, and because nobody was watching closely enough. Between 1980 and today, the cost of college in the United States increased by over 1,200%. That's not a typo, 12 times more expensive in 40 years. Meanwhile, wages for young graduates, they barely moved. So now you have a generation of people who borrowed $30, $50, sometimes $200,000 for degrees in fields that pay $40,000 a year. The math simply doesn't work. And here's where it gets darker. Student loans are not like other loans. If you borrow money to buy a house and you can't pay, the bank takes the house. Painful, but at least it ends there. Student loans are different. In the United States, you cannot erase student loan debt in bankruptcy. It follows you for years, sometimes forever. Miss payments? The interest grows, the balance grows. You can owe more 10 years later than you did on day one. Think about that. You've been paying for 10 years and you somehow owe more money than when you started. That's not an accident. That's how the system is designed. Now let's make this personal. Meet someone like Maya. She's 28. She got a communications degree from a mid-sized university. She borrowed $60,000, she graduated, found a job making $36,000 a year, and started making monthly payments. But her loan is on an income-based repayment plan, which sounds helpful. The problem, her monthly payment doesn't even cover the interest. Every month her balance grows a little. She pays and owes more. She's trapped on a treadmill that never stops. She's not alone. In the United States alone, over 43 million people carry student debt. The total? Nearly $2 trillion. That's more than all credit card debt combined. And while those borrowers struggle, the student loan industry, servicers, collectors, private lenders, makes billions in profit every single year. So what happened next? Did anything change? In 2022 and 2023, there were major conversations about student loan forgiveness. Some borrowers received partial relief. Policies shifted, courts got involved. The debate became one of the loudest political arguments in a generation. Some people got help, many didn't. The system remains largely intact, and every year a new group of 18-year-olds signs on the dotted line, often without truly understanding what they are agreeing to. That's the part that hurts most. At 18, most people can't rent a car, they can't order a beer, but they can take on $100,000 in debt that will shape the next 20 years of their life, with very little guidance, very little warning, and almost no way out if things go wrong. So what's the lesson here? First, information is everything. Before you or anyone you love signs for a student loan, ask hard questions. What is the average salary for this degree? How long will it take to pay this off? Is there a cheaper path to the same destination? Community college, trade school, online certifications. These aren't backup plans. Sometimes they're the smarter plan. Second, not all degrees are equal in the job market, and pretending otherwise is expensive. A degree in a high-demand field from an affordable school can be far more valuable than a prestigious name on a diploma that takes 30 years to pay off. Third, the burden of this decision should never fall entirely on a teenager. Parents, schools, and governments all have a responsibility to be honest about what debt really means before it's signed. Student debt isn't just a financial crisis, it's a generational one. It delays homeownership, it delays having children, it delays retirement, it shapes entire life paths, quietly, invisibly, relentlessly. And the cruelest part, most of the people carrying it still believe they did something wrong. They didn't. They were handed a system and told to trust it. Here's the truth. A degree can still change your life. Education still has real value, but debt without awareness isn't an investment. It's a gamble with borrowed money and borrowed time. Know the rules before you play the game, because no one is going to pause the clock and explain them to you.